You mentioned the shell mound. What is this shell mound? Can you tell us
The
about
shell
that?
mound is locally known as the Spanish Mount. Where it gets its name is uncertain, as it never had anything to do with the Spanish at all. And in fact, the locals here have always called it the Indian Mound. But it dates back to about 4,000 years. It was built by a group of people called the Late Archaic people. And it's a trash midden. So it's built of oyster shells, and essentially the oyster shells were tossed to the side, and eventually we had this mound that was formed. Now, it's actually theorized that this mound was once a shell ring, a very large shell ring that was about 30 meters by 30 meters. We can never prove this theory, unfortunately, because the creek has migrated over time and the marsh has grown over where that area of the shell ring may have been. The interesting thing about the Spanish Mount is that it is on the National Register of Historic Places. And the reason is because it contains the second oldest pottery in North America, which tends to surprise a lot of people. The oldest pottery in North America is also found in South Carolina in Allendale County in Rabbit Mount. But the shell mounds are characteristic of the coast here. Most were built during the late Archaic period, and the Spanish Mount, which is at Edisto Beach State Park, is thought to have been one of the largest of its kind.
And how accessible is that site?
We have a trail that leads you directly to it. We now have a retention wall that's been built around it to maintain the resource so that it's there. Unfortunately, it's undergone a lot of erosion over time. So we had the retention wall put into place to try to preserve it for as long as we could.
Well, I have been down there, and it is flabbergasting. The walkway goes right beside it.
Exactly. And you can really see how those shells were stacked. And sometimes you're lucky enough to see a piece of pottery sticking out of there as well.
Oh, my.